Hello, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. This is a, from what I've heard, it's kind of love it if I could talk. Interesting to explain. I mean, it's set up as your typical, just generic romance, dating sim visual novel. That's the word I was looking for. Dating sim visual novel. But on Steam, it was also labeled as psychological horror, and also had a warning before I got to this point. So, things ain't gonna work out too well. I'm gonna do at least one run through of this game, and we'll see how it goes from there. Gonna go with this one, because fuck it, might as well. It's either that or I just put me, or my channel name. But I'm gonna go with this one, because I feel like it. Guessing this is a girl. Hey! Yep. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. Oh, so the childhood friend character type. Okay. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. Yeah, pretty much. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again. Yeah, sounds like it. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. I was. That's mean. Lydic. Yeah, I should have gone with something else. Oh. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Oh. Yeah, I botched that. Screw. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. But I guess you didn't have it in you to be... I guess you didn't Words! I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Lydic, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not interested in joining any clubs. Oh, so I guess I'm part of the Going Home Club. Alright. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. When did I say that? Did I? Sure, it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sori likes to worry a little too much about me, and I'm perfectly content on just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Son of a bitch. It's been too close to home. Uh-huh. I was talking about how worried that you wouldn't... I was talking about how worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Joke's on you, I'm already in college and I have no skills. Wait. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years and not, because you're not used to the real world. Yeah, I'd probably kill myself too. You trust me, right? Well, I'd like to, but the game's genres that it was listed under make me not. Nothing personal. Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Well, this can only end well. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? Yeah, the one who routinely sleeps in, like, you know, that overused anime stereotype really has no room to be lecturing people. More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. So essentially my entire senior year of high school. Clubs. Zori wants me to check out some clubs. Guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Zori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. Usually I'm the only one in the classroom before it starts. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. Not sure how to take that. You don't need to wait up for me. It's going to make you late for your own late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know... Know what? Well, you could come to my club. I get the feeling that the person I'm playing as is supposed to be one of the densest motherfuckers in existence, you know? Like, every kind of anime or manga with this situation. Sayori? Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Nini? Zori is the vice president of the Literature! Of the Literature Club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title Vice President. Oh. Nepotism. Kind of. Whoa, whoops. Whoops! I accidentally pressed an arrow key. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. I don't even know how to read. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. Damn it. And Natsuki make cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I'd sell my soul for less, to be honest. A cookie. Half a cookie. Just so long as it's not like one of those Walmart brand Oreos or something. Those things are terrible. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I mentioned before that there is a good possibility that I might have an dyslexia. Because it's either that or I'm just really shit at reading. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Well, does she now? Seriously? You brought a boy? Please don't be that character type. Way to kill the atmosphere. Lydic! What a surprise. Welcome to our club. The fuck was the voice I was doing for that? All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. With fairly confusing suit coats. Like, what is up with the fabric for those things? Anyway. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. Girl with the sour attitude, whose name appears to be Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. That and the lolly stereotype, probably. Although, if this game is anything like what I've heard... Oh boy. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You could just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. This is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Okay, so... Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri. Got ya. Either Japanese or Russian. God. Wrong spelling for Yuri, I think. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. It sounds like you already know Monica. Is that right? That's right. I do. How do I know you? It's great to see you again, Lydic. Lytic? Never quite figured out how I was going to pronounce that. Lytic, whatever. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in the class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Oh, the idol stereotype. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Lydic. We made a room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about some... God, bit too deep. Then how about I make some tea as well? I say as though I could ever make a voice high-pitched enough for any of this to work properly. Girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Resisting the urge to make a closet joke about a character named Yuri. God damn it. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Stereotypical anime gasp. I'm not gonna try to make that noise. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Yep, cat cupcakes are great and all, but have you had Faygo cupcakes? No. Not a juggalo. Actually a Homestuck instead. But those things are fucking delicious. Also, that is a terrifying smile. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate are used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. I cannot get a good voice from Monica. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. Why? I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. Wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Please don't. Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Yes, we all have. Several times. Made them for you or anything. God damn it! I thought you technically did. Sayori said... Well, maybe. But not for you, you know? Crap. Not for you... No, shit. Not for you, no, you. Dummy. Baka. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry. Teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Well, funny you should mention that. Hot beverages in your hand tend to mimic the feeling of human warmth, so the main reason it helps with your anxiety is that you're just very lonely. Have I ruined tea for you? Probably not. I guess. Don't let yourself get too intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. She just met me. Why is she trying to impress me? Aside from stereotypical visual novel logic. That this thing is probably going to severely mess with at some point. But that's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Debate? It's the literature club. I guess it kind of depends on the literature. Fair enough. Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Well, ain't that sweet? Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Yeah, it's almost like a stereotypical setting. You know, kind of like that one in D-Frag. Although D-Frag also made fun of itself, so... fair enough. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. Shouldn't be too hard for this, like, stereotypical school idol, being as, like, most stories that involve that kind of character, everyone's just throwing themselves at their feet. Anyway, enough me bitching about overused cliches. But it makes school events like the festival so much more important. That much more important. I'm confident that we could really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Right, everyone? Yeah. We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these three. Just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted at the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Lydic, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, not gonna lie, I do kind of enjoy Shakespeare, but not for like the whole, you know, stereotypical classroom reasons, but because of the fact that I actually just... it is some really dirty-minded stuff. Like, I'm not kidding. It kind of makes me upset that sort of stuff is, like, seriously, like, evaluated in classrooms and stuff, because if someone actually is able to read that and get the jokes, then I'm pretty sure they should realize that this is not the kind of stuff that you expect someone to read seriously. This is something you have someone read and laugh at dick jokes. Considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Oh, closet otaku? Looks like she wants to say something, but keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her fingers. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Ah. Got ya. I do suggest staring away from stuff like the Aragon series, because that really does read like it was written by a high schooler. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. That it is. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, like a lot of things, stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Yeah. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Was that meta commentary? That sounds like meta commentary. Are you making fun of the general visual novel audience? Because I could totally get behind that. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. It is meta commentary. This is meta commentary right here. God damn it. You got me excited. I read a horror book once. What are you talking about once? Horror is my favorite fucking genre. I desperately grasped something I could relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Of course, you could always also go with existential horror. Nothing like some Junji Ito or Lovecraft to just fuck with your mind. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, I just... Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. Oh. God damn it. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? Hey, if you like cute things, fucking own it. Who cares? Who really fucking cares? I fucking love cute things. You wanna fucking melt my heart? Just drown me in kittens. Fuck am I saying? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give that back! Fine. I'm really curious what that was called now. Like, you can't just leave someone hanging with that shit. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Of course. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. I remember back in high school when I used to write poems. Such shitty edgelord shit. That was redundant. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. It's the truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing them the deepest reaches of your heart. Any reason you need to turn into a fortune cookie? Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example to help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Yeah. Yes, it's the same for Yuri. Aw, wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Oh. Natsuki, you look quizzically at Monica. I swear nothing feels like I'm actually saying words anymore. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Yes, we can all be equally embarrassed. Perfect. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Lydic? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. I can't read. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, Sayori's still there. Smiling her goddamn ass off. This entire... I lose my train of thought. Oh, nope, never mind. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But... I'm sorry, I thought... Lydic. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Christ. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. You really did scare me for a moment. If you really came by just for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Fucking pose. Like, goes from front facing to side view. Still looking at you. Bent over. Hands behind back. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Now, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment? Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Lydic, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up within me. Meanwhile, these girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Lydic, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Well, you're socializing, so I'd hope that does something for your mental health. I mean, socializing is an important part of the human... Well, important part of any social animal, so... If you're not doing that, you're just gonna fuck yourself up. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Gonna put it out there, I'll probably do 1 hour episodes of this, so yeah, bear with me with that. Because Jesus Christ. Pick, time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Oh. Oh, God. Do anything with it? Nope, there's just those little sprites hopping around in the corner. Looking cute. Okay. Fuck, let's go with the one that likes horror right now. I think. Tragedy. Graveyard. Let's go full edge. Warm. Poof. 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 Infinite. The edgiest of things right now that I think about it. Massacre! Oh, God. Disoriented. After image, incapable, fireworks time, color, love, covet, infallible, portrait, mouse, fireworks. Infallible. Bouncing around down there. God, suicide! I shouldn't laugh, but Jesus. Unstable. Childhood. Atone. Atone. That really was. I just realized when I pressed atone, the Yuri one hopped. Huh. Spinning Natsuki. Interesting. Depression, fear, despise, fear. But that one was Sayori. Huh. Philosophy, Yuri. Interesting. Uncanny. Yep. Fester or contamination. Or inferno. I'm going with contamination. Yep. Existence, pleasure, skipping, journey, feather, wrath. Agonizing. Agonizing existence. Well, finals are coming up. Yep. Oh. Hair, unrestrained, pink, hopeless, dazzle, vivid, daydream, vanilla, candy, unrestrained. That's actually it. I actually kind of love that they added that in. That's... holy shit. I don't think that'll make anyone happy. No. Going with the stereotypes that this thing is playing off of anyway. Landscape. Huh. Parfait. Or, disown. Judgment. Disown. Milk! Kawaii. Skirt. Intellectual. God damn it. Unending. Entropy. Entropy. Yeah, so the stuff that has to do with kawaii culture or otaku culture is probably going to be Natsuki. A climax? I'm not mature enough for that. Explode. Disaster. Also, if my mouse is on screen, I apologize. I haven't checked the settings yet, so it might be. Hi again, Lydic. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha 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 ha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I kept my word. I have one shitty edge poem with me. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everybody else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Lydic. Hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it? Come on, I think he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. Little snitch! And last year too. Okay, so I was part of the Going Home Club. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone so short. I mean, for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Of course she does. Of course she does. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Well, I mean, there have been some intellectually stunning comics over the years. Don't worry, guys. Lydic always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. The problem is he never has fun. He helps me with busy work, even, without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, it's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. You almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Lydic can become good friends, too. Yeah, you and your Rapunzel hair. Seriously, how much hair do you need? That has to be a bitch to wash. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into, as well as my inability to say the word situation. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? Just hand it over. I'm sorry, Yuri. Wasn't thinking. Guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. Yeah, fair enough. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Unless it's a dead animal. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it if you don't want it to be. No, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Oh, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked up a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. I feel slightly insulted. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace, which is likely to be very slow. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. That doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Really curious to talk to Yuri a bit more. At the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. Catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Music change. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and her eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Of course it does. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's fine. I was focused, then if I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Sure. Not for any particular reason. Sure. Just curious. How come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, I just stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. Something fairly obvious that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. Definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's very engaging and relatable. It's a very engaging and relatable story. That's so. What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov? Fuck, that sounds familiar. It sounds really fucking familiar. Future me. If that is in fact the real thing, put something identifying that. There's an ominous looking eye on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give something away. Basically, it's about a girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. Okay, I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of the one where, like, the guy's portrait, like, his mortality is stored in that or something. Instead of him, so he doesn't die, but if the portrait gets damaged, he does. I can't quite remember what it was. Basically, it's... Oh, yeah. But as soon as she does, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. Well, and while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships that her life starts to fall apart. Well, that's kind of dark. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Okay, this is the person who we've already already established as like a fan of horror and dark shit. Why would this surprise you? I made the joke about the idiot protagonist a few times, but this is seriously pushing it. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Lydic? No, it's not that. I'm actually the kind of tool who listens to creepypasta readings. I mean, I could definitely enjoy some of those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yep, totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrifying things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. You are just made of meta-commentary, I swear. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. I mean, believe me, I fucking hate, like, that whole ultimate evil type thing, where it's just like, so, what's this character's goals? Man, it's just that they're evil. No reason, they're just evil. Well, guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. Kinda guess that. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. Oh, believe me, I wish people would do the same to me sometimes. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Well, least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you were looking forward to it. Nah. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book I put into my bag. Alright. It's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? seem a little apprehensive. That's... sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just that it's just something I'm not very used to. It is reading in company with someone. I see. But just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. As if I could feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I'm in the same boat. I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? Slide my desk up until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Two of them? What? Suppose so. Oh, 2 desks. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, her shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess this makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. And we've got a CG. Yuri takes her left arm and holds it to the left side of the book between her thumb and... Oh, and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Most of those pages are blank. Most of each page seems to be blank. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page, and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. Holding it like this, we're huddled even closer than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face. She's in the corner of my vision. Oh god, the eye moved! That creeped me out. Are you ready? God. Damn it, I almost memed. Turn the page. Sorry. Think I got a bit distracted for a second. Glance over at Yuri's face again and her eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Oh, and the facial expression changed. Yeah. That's... Continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it of my own volition. By my own volition. We continue to read the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but... the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second-guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. Oh, do you mean like generic relatable character writing 101? It's not like I can see into your head or anything. But they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Character was also made clumsy, because that's relatable in a quote-unquote adorable way. Swear. The way I'm talking makes it sound as though I hate all forms of media, but I really don't. I just hate it when it's poorly done. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Lydic, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. So embarrassing that you think that. Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I meant that I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Yeah, I think it's about time we share today's poems with everyone. With each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhaled, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. Sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not... It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know. That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Alright, so I guess after the poetry reading thing, I'll leave it, I'll end this episode. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yes, it was the most edgy bullshit ever. Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. Couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. You can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Mitsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. God. Oh. Okay. Just little visual novel knowledge, just always say, I should have saved before writing the poem. Son of a bitch. Yuri seems the most experienced. I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Harsh, but fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri covers her mouth, but that ends up covering her whole face, while playing with her hair with both hands. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. That's... I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? None. Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? I do, however, have a habit of just putting intricate metaphors into essays I have to write. Most of the time, they end up fairly dirty. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's almost as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but putting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki could be a little biased, though. A little bit biased, though. Biased? Ow. Well... Never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself or me. I mean, to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. This is gonna be where it gets really freaking weird. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be a literature club? Fuck. The ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. You think yours is bad? What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Because I'm a slow reader. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is very pretty. I mean, is pretty. Shit. Yeah? That's a relief. But if this is a stereotypical Japanese setting, then why were we writing an English script? Unless that's... I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this train of thought. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it was short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since that's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. So you do go really fucked up. Something easy to digest, I suppose? Are you into Ghost Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Lydic. Really? Must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. So fear of the future. Fear of progress. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I haven't even thought of that. That's impressive. Yeah? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so... I'm gonna wait for a scene change to switch over. Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. I didn't even get to see mine. All I know is that I used the word graveyard at some point. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Lydic. Me too. I'm gonna do my best for me too. Okay. Shit, I should've. Okay. That is where I'm gonna end this episode. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you next time. See ya.